Have hockey conversation.
Talk about icing, talk about all.
The four nations.
Oh my god, that was fantastic, right? I know. It was a very good game.
I know, whenever I.
All right, we're live and ready to go.
All right, we're ready to roll. I hereby call to order this meeting of Millburn CC School District 24, regular Board of Education meeting. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Donna Renson,
Here.
Brandon Murphy, Peter Petrini,
Here.
Jillian Phelps. Here. John Ruggles.
Here.
Brad Skepstrom,
Here.
and Lisa Booster. Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comments?
Yeah.
All right, any addition of non-action items? Okay, going once, going twice. Action items, second reading and approval of board policies.
Hey,
This
that's my
is
wheelhouse.
Your wheelhouse.
Every last one of these is a deletion of the footnotes. None of the policies have changed. It's just updating monstrous footnotes, getting them out of the policy itself. So, nothing major.
Any questions? Comments? Motion
I move to approve the board policies
as presented.
as presented.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Approval of 2025-2026 application for facilities use form.
I move to approve the 25-26 application for facilities use form.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of 2025-2026 registration fees.
Nothing's changed since 2 weeks ago.
We're just taking in his recommendations of 10%.
10%. I move to approve the 2025-2026 registration fees. Second.
Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Donna Renson.
Yes.
Peter Petrini,
Yes.
Jillian Phelps.
Yes.
John Ruggles,
Yes.
Brad Skepstrom,
Yes.
and Lisa Booster.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Approval of 2025-2026 activity fees.
I move to approve the 2025-2026 activity fees. Second again.
Madam Secretary?
That's Peter Petrini,
Yes.
Jillian Phelps,
Yes.
John Ruggles,
Yes.
Brad Skepstrom.
Yes.
Lisa Booster.
Yes.
And John Lorenzen.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Approval of purchase and installation of MES East Gym sound system in the amount of $33,950.
I move to approve the purchase and installation of MES East Gym sound system in the amount of $33,950.
Second.
I do have a comment on it.
Yeah, is it too late? No.
No, it is not.
I know. Easy.
Robert's Rules of Order, it is the perfect time. I just wanted to comment, Fred asked a good question last week, or. No, it was last week. Just asked me, and so I want to share his question out just for clarity and for understanding about what we're doing moving forward with this particular project. So, we approached the Epic committee with this request after last year when the sound system was so crackly, it was so bad. And so we said, hey, could you raise some money? Could we have some money for the sound system in the East Gym? And that's how it started. One of the companies also looked at our cafeteria system and our West Gym system too, which are on the way out as well. And just looked at us and gave us an idea of a quote, but the other two companies that we had in didn't even look at those because we hadn't even thought about it. And we hadn't really approached Epic with it yet, but they did see that. And so Fred had a good question about, can we package these together, save a little bit of money? And it's possible that we would, and we'll still look at that. Depending on what the fundraiser did on Saturday night, I'm not sure.
The ticket sales were much less than they anticipated. They were hoping to get like 200 tickets. They think they went to like 1.25.
Hmm.
And,
For Milburn Madness.
yes. So that,
So we'll see. But we still want to get this on the books to get rolling. So if we can, we're ready to go. Also, I want to point out to the public, the board is not paying this, the district's not paying this. This is fundraising from Epic and our families that did this. So thank you to them for this.
That's a big ticket item. right there.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's huge, and it's important. I mean, it's if the kids are gonna work hard to perform, you wanna be able to hear them when they say their parts.
Yeah.
And we had a makeshift, it was better this year. We had a makeshift temporary portable speaker, one speaker on the stage, and it was still way better than last year, so.
Will this be installed next school year then?
This
Or-
summer.
This summer, okay. One of the big projects.
It's not that big of a project, but it's something. Yeah. It's expensive. But for a sound system in a gym, it's really not, it's not too bad. 'Cause we could spend hundreds of thousands, and we have ideas for improving that space anyway for performances, like the lights. Ben and I were talking today about the lighting could be the next request. The flooring we've talked about, Carly and I have looked at the flooring, and Tim, different options for the floor in there to make it look like a more friendly space. It just looks nasty because it's the top, the coating is wearing off. And it's all gouged up, and it just, even when it's clean, it looks dirty. This is gross looking. So we want to make sure that,
and as performance space, it looks a little Spartan and the walls are all hard. It's not really acoustic.
yeah,
So,
we could make it feel a little warmer, even. Clean it up a little bit. So we'll continue to look at that, and hopefully Epic can continue to raise some money for us, or we find money elsewhere. So just wanted to share that. Those ideas in our long-term plan, but our main thrust this year was that sound system that is completely shot.
so the way that works then is Epic actually just gives us the money and we buy it, or do they buy it and then give us the?
We buy it with, the district purchases it, and then we ask for reimbursement from Epic, and then they cut the district a check.
Okay, so that's why we're voting on it then.
Yes.
Cause
Correct.
Epic could just say, we're gonna buy it and give it to you. We have nothing to do with it.
Correct.
We typically purchase everything on behalf of Epic just because the district is tax exempt and has access to discounts for consortiums. And we
Makes
did an
sense, yeah.
RFP with this, for this process.
And then it's district owned too, makes it a little bit cleaner.
Thank you, Epic.
Thank you, Epic. Good work.
All right, anything else on the sound system? All right, approved consent agenda.
Nope, got it. We
No.
we got a motion and a second.
Oh,
I'm
I thought we
sorry, 'cause I
voted.
messed it. We didn't.
Oh, all right, Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Jillian Phelps,
Yes.
John Reynolds.
Yes,
Brad Stepstrom,
yes.
Lisa Booster,
Yes.
John Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Peter Petrini.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Now on to the consent. agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second,
Madam Secretary.
John Reynolds,
yes,
Brad Stepstrom,
yes.
Lisa Booster,
Yes.
John Lorenzen,
Yes.
Peter Petrini,
Yes.
and Jillian Phelps.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Information discussion, FOIA requests.
we know the reasoning behind the request.
Looks like.
No, just came in.
Yeah.
Looks like a sales page.
Yeah, they do this to every school district, and then that's how they set their pricing.
Future agenda items.
Amended budget, probably in May. April, I think, right, or
April.
April. Looking forward to that. Seems like we're right on track with where we were, just a few adjustments.
Superintendent report.
It was a great third grade concert last week. Met with the Antioch area superintendents today. We articulate with three different high school districts, so Warren High School, Antioch Lakes, and Grays Lake High School. So this week, today was Antioch. So it's a good articulation meeting. We discuss whatever the hot topics are of the day, and they vary from week to week and district by district, but it's interesting to hear what's going on in each district. Talked a little bit about behaviors of kids that we're seeing, the severity of behaviors that, especially at the K1 level this year, for some reason. Very interesting, and it's in each district that I've heard from. It's not just isolated. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. So we'll see how that progresses through. But we're seeing pretty significant behaviors that are atypical. That's it for me.
Hey, have you been getting any calls about the Power School breach, or it just kind of came and went, nobody
Oh, good
cared?
question. No, I've got no calls about the Power School breach. I got one email last week because Power School, they said they would send out and contact everybody that had breach. Well, they have the same information we do, and the information for past students is sketchy. But we did discover, and I think I wrote the board this and sent an email out to the whole community, that we had been using one of the data fields for something completely unrelated to social security number, but we were just using the social security number data field for just an internal code. It had to do with residency and who we checked in and how. It's totally innocuous, but it picked up. So Power School thought that those social security numbers went out. So that was thousands of students and current students. So it looked, after I said, well, no, we don't use social security numbers. And then people got a letter saying, your social security number was breached. It's not even in there. I just checked. But we did discover through that process, Veronica went back and ran a report. There were students that left our district in 2007 and 2008 that did have social security numbers in there that we didn't know about. So whatever happened at that time for those particular kids, I think we were transitioning from an old system to a new system, or something was happening where we didn't catch it and wipe those out. So we went ahead and sent letters out to those families. Our school is supposed to be contacting them as well, but we sent it out. And also we found some former staff members that had a social security number in there. Again, it was probably from an old system, and when they transitioned into the new system, nobody put them in, but it probably populated that field. Nobody paid attention to that. So unfortunate. But now they're all wiped. We wiped every social security number out of Power School as far as we know. So again,
I get about 2 a year of some security breach for somewhere, so I just assume everybody has their.
yeah, we probably should, but when you know about it, our
Yeah.
duty is to make sure people are informed and they can sign up for Experian for free and make sure that they get the information. So I feel bad about it. But.
Can we fix the problem, or they have fixed the problem?
What's
They
that?
have fixed the security problem?
Yeah, oh, I'm assuming they have now. I don't know what the issue was. I'm guessing it was a ransom.
It's a lot.
Mhm.
How did the county-wide institute day go? Is
I,
that rough, or like, I just figured that would be very difficult, getting the whole count on the same day? Or was that just for the high schools that went to Mundelein, or?
Middle schools and high, 6 through 12 went to Mundelein High School, and the K-5 group went to Lakes High School. So it was 3,000 people. A lot of people. It wasn't every school in the county, but anybody who wanted to participate.
Got it.
We were one of them, so it was good. I heard the people that I have talked to about it really liked the speakers, high quality speakers, both in the morning and the afternoon. They liked the sessions, thought they were very informative. Brendan was one of the speakers and had a session, so it was great. I think the value of that day, it's unique because you get to interact with colleagues in your position outside of your school district and get to hear, if you're a elementary PE teacher, you're gonna hear about, other elementary PE teachers and what they're doing in their district. Or middle school science teacher, you're gonna hang out with middle school science teachers a little bit that day and have interactions and conversations about what's happening in their field. I think there's value in that. And we don't get to do that a lot, especially teachers don't get to do that on a regular basis. So I think it's a valuable day. Is it perfect? No. A lot of school districts want to do their own in-house training on that day. It's hard to give up time, but that's valuable as well. And it's different. And it's free. Lunch was paid for by the Lake County Superintendents. Not personally. Lake County Superintendent's Organization. We have a little bit of a fund balance, so we provided lunch for that day. Yeah. That's it. Good question. I guess. Oh, that was the day we met with legislators too, the superintendents. Met with Tony Sanders, who's our state superintendent, and 4 local legislators, Mary Edley Allen, and 3 reps. Joyce Mason, Rita Mayfield, and Laura Favor Diaz. So that's always interesting. They got a little bit of an earful from the superintendents.
Couple of them got near me too sometimes, so.
I bet. That's what they do. They've got a tough job this year. I just wish sometimes that they would learn and listen to the people that are impacted by the decisions that they make. Sometimes a little bit more. And that's not always a reality, and I understand it from their perspective. They want to get reelected. So they want to do things that look good on paper, but do they actually do what they intend to do when it comes to laws that they pass? And most often I would say no. Sometimes it does help, and a lot of times it does not. So it's interesting. Talked about the cell phone bill. I know Governor Pritzker is pushing no cell phones in school. Fine, I don't want cell phones in school either, but I think that could be a local decision, and the law is not the issue, it is enforcement of it. So that is the issue. The question was raised, how if a student comes to school with a cell phone, we ask them to give it to us, and they don't. What are our options? We're not allowed to suspend them for that. Which the legislators didn't understand that. But this is where I wish they would listen a little bit more carefully. Because they've passed legislations restricting suspension and exclusionary disciplinary practices, which is good. We don't want to suspend kids, but what do you do?
Just the fact that they have the phone, no, but if they're using that phone, disrupting the rest of the class, and
But
now
this is-
you have grounds to.
The laws, no phones in school. We can't enforce that.
No, but I'm saying even if that was the law and you can't take it from them.
Right.
You could still, you know, if there's a disruption at that point, the phone alone, I can see no,
Right.
but,
Yeah, you'd have to suspend for something different.
Yeah.
But the point was, we already have these rules.
I get.
All the districts in that room have a no cell phone policy in class at least, not in, like Milburn's is at the middle school. If we see it, we'll take. As long as you don't have it out in class, you can have it on your person. Just don't let us see it. Don't let it be a disruption. Because then it's an issue.
Mhm.
Because the reality is we don't have landlines when kids go home. And in between or to a friend's house or kids who are walking, parents like to have their kids have access to that. So how do you do that? Yonder pouches don't work. They work, but they're expensive and that's one more thing to track. And then a lot of high schools are saying, well, kids will put a burner phone in the yonder pouch. Cause you just need a phone and they don't know, or they say, hey, we didn't bring one today. So it's not a perfect. We all agree with the intent. Again, it's the execution of it. And do we need a law for that particular issue? That's just an example. Not a big deal. If it's a law, it's a law, but. There's lots of them. 30,000 filed.
Carly, you're up.
All right, pretty short, but if we click on the business office report, there is a schedule of, the budget amendment. What it will look like on the calendar if you scroll down a little bit. So in our next board meeting, we'll review a draft amended budget and I'll request for the board to approve. To have it put on display and place a legal notice in the legal ads. And then we're basically looking for continued discussion throughout March and into April. And then adopting the budget at the end of April.
Do we need to have a special meeting in order to adopt the budget, the tentative amended budget?
So, yep. Quick special meeting.
And then the other item is, for the next month, I'll be meeting with our benefits cooperative to go over likely price increases to our medical, dental, vision insurance. So I'll be bringing that back to the board in April, early April.
Are you anticipating double-digit increase this year or something lower?
For medical, anticipating double-digit increase. Unfortunately, but more to come. So the way this works is over the next, we're meeting later this month, or actually this week. This is the late part of the month. We'll go through what potential plan changes could be made to the medical plan to see if there's a way to save some money, but even if there are some changes made, it will probably be hefty increases this year. Vision and dental typically have no to minimal increases.
And it's, health insurance is our second largest item behind salaries, right?
Correct. That was it.
Board reports.
Our sixth grade girls basketball team had a long day at Johnsburg from 8 in the morning till 3 at night. They made the championship game, lost by a point. Which is why I didn't make Saturday night. It was a long day. Lost by a point, had a shot up near the end, fell off the rim, but we did beat Augs, so we have bragging rights over Augs. That was a fun Saturday.
That is fun.
Long, that's
Fun
fun.
term.
Did the third grade concert, which we got a new flag in there. So, looking good, something I mentioned at a previous meeting. A lot of the silent auction items that like experience with the teachers were like ice cream or pizza parties. That's something we briefly talked about when we were doing the handbook. But because it's technically done through the organization, but you know, with people's religious, dietary and allergies and everything, it'd just be nice to see some other options, get some more involvement. From everyone possible.
Like not with teachers or with teachers?
Well, like with teachers, but so it's either you can have an ice cream party or a pizza party. Jake's taking them to the Thornton's, kind of a pick your own thing, so that's, you know, it's kind of unique in that. You know, get a pack of base Pokemon cards, or whatever.
Pack of cigarettes.
Or are those only for, because I've noticed it is only teacher experiences, do we get like stuff from the community, like a $75 spa gift card?
Oh, yeah, there's those too, but
So we do have those.
Yeah.
So there are.
there's, like, is that, like, so a teacher did like do a tie-dye thing with her. So there are other options, but it's,
I know my daughter got a STEM afternoon with the STEM teacher last year. So. Play with all the gizmos over there.
so it's nice for them to donate anything.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, whatever.
I'm sure they'll take any suggestions.
How did the Iditarod go today? There was no snow,
No, they got just enough.
did they?
Yep, it was early enough in the morning.
Yeah.
Just enough to get my money.
Yes.
That's cool.
My son participated and he rarely shares anything about school just because sixth grade boy. And he didn't stop talking about this. Like, this was a cool thing, and he went on and on about the movie. He told me all these details from the movie where I was like, wow, you paid attention to this stuff. And I don't know, just kudos to you guys, like, this was an impactful thing and fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Really neat.
I did the 8th grade activity nights. Is that Friday night?
Mhm.
Friday.
So we had what, about 60 kids come out?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see them, but yeah, I was in the back slinging pizza, so. They had fun. They ate all the pizza, they drank the water, and they had Rice Krispie treats. So. It was fun.
That sounds cool.
That, 'cause I've received a panicked email saying in danger of being.
I saw that. I'm like, okay.
I
I'll
thought that was
go.
every grade this year. We actually had to do that.
Pretty
6th,
tough.
7th, and first, sure.
No closed session unless you guys will have something you guys want to talk about. All right.
I move to adjourn.
Oh, second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
29 minutes.
Ooh.
29 minutes.